What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise live here on a Wednesday. We're streaming today. Made more sense for me, made more sense for picks against the spread. There's 12 games today compared to 2 tomorrow, so we got 12 games to pick from very quickly. Also, we'll talk Malcolm Brogdon trade destinations. Eric, how's it going?
Not too bad. How are you doing, Tori?
Doing good. Busy day for me today. And just ready to pick some games, and then ready to see the Blazers play the Mavericks later today. They are heavy underdogs. We'll talk about that when we get there.
Hello, everyone in chat. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, welcome in. We got no time to delay here with it being 4 p.m. First game tips off at 4:10. Let's see if we can get through 12 games in 10 minutes. That's impossible, but we will try our best. We got the standings here, Eric. 4 picks against the spread. Chat, you'll be doubling down on 2 games today, as your double down was a push. Trevin will also be doubling down on 2 games today. Collectively, we went about 500. I've been on a roll. That continued. I went 5-2. Same with 503. Zach and Steven at the bottom, both 5-2, so making up some ground. Trevin at 4-2. Worst record of the day, Connor, unfortunately, 1-6. Then you had Jackson and Chase and Crushables at 2-5. So Arrow has finally passed Chat. He's half a game above. I'm only 1 game back, so I could take the lead today. That would be awesome. You got us 3 at the top, and then you got Jackson 6 games back, Eric 7, 5-3, 9. Kind of evenly spread throughout the rest of the standings. Any thoughts on the standings, Eric, before we jump into game number 1?
Nope. I just love to see 7 people above 500, and overall 30 games above 500 for all of us. So good job, everyone.
Good job. All right, game number 1. You got the Cleveland Cavaliers hosting the Washington Wizards, and the Cavs are 9.5-point home favorites.
All right. In this one, we got the Wizards have no one out tonight. The Cavs have Evan Mobley, Darius Garland, Ty Jerome, and Ricky Rubio out.
Alrighty. I'm going to take Washington. I got picks sent to me from Chase, Steven, Crushables, and 503. Steven is going with the Wizards.
I'm going to take Wizards too.
All right. Chase is going with the Cavs.
Hey, Trevin's here. Good job, Trevin.
Awesome. All right, so we should have all our mods in chat, which is great.
Jackson, Connor, Aeromancer, all Wizards.
Jackson, Connor,
And then Trevin is Cavs.
all right, so just need Zach. I got 503 going
I've not seen
with the
Zach.
Cavs. And Crushables going with the Cavs. Chat, it looks like, is going Cavaliers as well. By the way, if you're new to picks against the spread line is minus 9.5 for Cleveland, as shown on the graphic. They're 9.5-point favorites, which means they have to win by 10 or more to be the correct pick. If the Cavs win by 9 or less, Washington's the right pick. So it's either Washington winning or Washington losing by 9.5 or less is for Washington.
Hey, what's up, Zach? How you doing? In 5 minutes. Okay. All right. Sounds good. Later.
Game number 2, Indiana hosting Milwaukee. We'll get Zach's pick in there when he shows up. The Bucks are 3.5-point road favorites. These teams just played each other.
All right. In this one, we got AJ Green and Jay Crowder out for the Bucks. For the Pacers, just Andrew Nembhard out.
Chat, there is your chat poll. Alrighty. We got Pacers for Crushables. Steven is Pacers. 503 is Bucks. I'm going to go Pacers. Chase is going with the Bucks. We got Bucks for Jackson, Bucks for Trevin. Eric, what are you going with?
I'm going with the Bucks.
All right, Eric's going Bucks. We need Connor, Arrow, and Zach.
We just got both an injury update for the Blazers and a starting lineup update for the Blazers.
Cool. We'll talk about that when we get to their game. It's game number 7.
I am stoked.
Oh, I already know what it is. Pacers for Connor and Arrow.
And then, yeah, there's some people out tonight, too, that we didn't know about.
We got Bucks for chat. Hopefully Zach shows up here soon. Alrighty, game number 3. You got the Hawks versus the OKC Thunder, and this game is a good old-fashioned pick-em.
Oh, cool. All right, so Thunder have no one listed on the injury report. The Hawks are without DeAndre Hunter and Muhammad McGee.
You said DeAndre Hunter and Muhammad McGee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pavers. I believe the Thunder played yesterday. They beat the Celtics, right?
Yeah. So this could be a letdown game.
I'm going to go with the Thunder. The spread is nothing, Pim, so that means whoever wins the game. It's just straight up.
Yep. So basically pick who you think will win. That's why there's an NBA logo with PK, which means pick 'em. Noah is going with OKC. We got Steven going with the Hawks. We got Crushables going with the Thunder. And we got Chase going with the Thunder.
Connor Aeromancer Thunder as well.
Alrighty. Chat, through 16 votes, 100% Thunder.
I have Zach's picks for the first 3 games. If you.
All right, let's plug them in right now while we wait. Okay, what's game number 1?
Wizards, game number 1.
Okay, so this is a 5v7 with 7 picks for the underdog Wizards. All right, game number 2.
Bucks.
All right. Zach is Bucks, so that is a 5v7, 7 picks for the Bucks. All right, and then we are currently on game number 3.
Hawks.
All right, Hawks.
Thank you, Zach, for getting those in.
Trevin and Jackson, can we make our picks? Okay, no, Jackson picked OKC. I just need, yeah, I didn't see that. Okay, Trevin, did Trevin pick Thunder? Okay, there we go. Cool. Chat is Thunder 100% of the vote, so we know one of their double downs.
Zach didn't need to double down twice, did he?
Trevin does.
Okay. Trevin and Chat.
It's Trevin and Chat, yeah. So Chat, one of them is OKC. The other one is the next highest percentage. All right, Steven and Zach, Hawks, everybody else. Thunder, next game, we got the Houston Rockets hosting the Brooklyn Nets. That's the first time ever, I think. The Rockets are 4-point home favorites.
All right. In this one, we got... Just make sure I update this. Lonnie Walker, Ben Simmons out. Dennis Smith Jr. questionable. And then for the Rockets, Tari Eason, Dylan Brooks, and Victor Oladipo out.
Said Tari Eason, Victor Oladipo. Who else?
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks, okay. I'm just gonna go Rockets. Steven is Rockets. 503 is Rockets. Crushables is Rockets. And Chase is Rockets.
I'm gonna take the Nets then.
All right. Okay, we got Rockets for Arrow, Jackson, Trevin.
Zach is Rockets too.
Cool. Zach is Rockets, and of course, Chat's Rockets, and of course, we're waiting on Connor. Will this be an Eric Island?
Let's go.
Of course, Steven picked the Hawks. That's funny. Let me switch to live chat. It's a little faster. Brooklyn on a 4-game losing streak. They're getting a feel-good win. Yeah, they've been struggling. See what Cam Thomas and Spencer Dinwiddie combined for. That was awful. 0 for 17.
Yeah.
Last game. Connor, can we please make our picks faster, bro? It's always Connor. We need Jeopardy music just for Connor. Do 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 do. Connor is looking into his crystal ball. He might need to smash that crystal ball because he went 1-6. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, next game.
So much for finishing it fast.
I know, because yeah, it's always someone. Next game, Minnesota hosting New Orleans. Minnesota is 6-point home favorites.
All right, in this one we got Trey Murphy and Matt Ryan out for the Pelicans. For the Timberwolves, Jalen Clark is out. Luka Garza, your favorite player, is questionable. Connor says Rockets.
Connor, fast forward your stream. All right, so Eric Island.
Let's go.
That's not a bad island to have at all.
Yeah. That's kind of surprising.
This game's tough, man. Trevin's Wolves, Jackson's Wolves. Whoops. That's the wrong logo.
Let's see what Zach picked. The Pelicans. I'm also going to go with the Pelicans, as is Aeromancer.
Okay, so me, you, Arrow, and who?
Zach.
I have a feeling my pick here is going to be dead wrong. Okay, you got Chase going with the Pelicans. So Chase's Pelicans, Crushables is Timberwolves. Steven is Pelicans, and 503 is Wolves. Has Connor made his pick yet?
He sure hasn't.
Chat is Wolves, 70% of the vote. And we'll see if Connor is Pels. Okay, there we go. Which makes it a 7v5. Tori, you're being very quiet. Okay, is this better? I got you. All right. Next game, we got the Grizzlies hosting the Raptors. The Grizzlies 1.5 point home favorites. Injuries, Eric.
Yeah, I said hold on a sec.
I didn't hear that.
Toronto's without Otto Porter Jr. and Christian Coloco. They, of course, have Emmanuel Quickley and RJ Barrett in their starting lineup now. The Grizzlies are without Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Derrick Rose, and Vince Williams.
It's funny how the Grizzlies went from, like, some people saying that Ja Morant didn't make them any better to, like, Ja Morant has made them a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Grizz. 503 is going Raptors. Chases Raptors. Stephen Vaughn is Grizzlies. Crushes Grizzlies. All right. Other picks, Eric.
Let's see what Zach picked. Zach picked the Grizzlies.
Okay. Trevin Arrow, Zach Grizzlies. Cool. And then the other two mods.
I'm going to go with Toronto.
All right. So you're Toronto. Connor's Toronto and Jackson's Toronto. And chat is Memphis, 56% of the vote. Alrighty. Another 5v7. Lots of 5v7s today. Next game, we got the Mavs hosting your Portland Trail Blazers. Mavs are 11.5 point home favorites.
Which is a lot. So the injury update for the Blazers is that Anthony Simons, Toumani Camara, and Duop Reith all playing, but on a minutes restriction. Moses Brown, DeAndre Ayton, Robert Williams all out, along with Manaya also is out. And there was one other person that went down to the G League. Rupert is also out. For the Mavericks, they're without Blazer killer Dante Exum, Rashawn Holmes, and Maxi Kleba. So Luka and Kyrie both playing. And also the Blazers starting lineup for this game: Anthony Simons, Scoot Henderson, Toumani Camara, Jeremy Grant, and Ibu Baji. And Tori's muted.
What was I saying?
Okay.
So is Sharp on a minutes restriction, or is he just back to the bench?
He is back to the bench.
In place of Scoot. Wait, so Scoot's starting over Brogdon?
Yes.
And over Sharp. Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, who knows if this is permanent, but it's interesting. I'm tempted to just keep going against Portland.
Sharp is on a minutes restriction. That's probably wise.
Okay. Well, that's yes.
Yeah, that
I'm just going to go against the Blazers because Luka's dropping 76 points.
11.5 is a lot for me, so I'm just going to take the points in Portland.
Okay, we got Blazers for crushables.
Zach is taking the Blazers.
Okay.
Trevin and Aeromancer are taking the Mavs.
Steven, Mavs. Chase is Mavs.
Jackson and Connor are Portland.
And 503 is the Mavs. And chat is Portland Trailblazers, 52% of the vote. So we got a split vote. All right, next game we got the New York Knicks hosting the Chicago Bulls. The Knicks are 9-point home favorites.
All right, in this one we have update. The Bulls are without Honoralt Bittum, Torrey Craig, Nikola Vucevic, Zach LaVine, and Lonzo Ball. The New York Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson and Malachi Flynn. Another game where I'm just going to take the points.
Same.
Jackson is also taking, or no, he's taking the Knicks. Aeromancer, Bulls, Trevin, Knicks.
Okay, 503 is Knicks.
Zach is Knicks.
All right, Steven going Bulls. Crusha Knicks. Crusha Knicks, not Crushables. What did I say Steven was going?
I didn't hear. Sorry.
Steven is Bulls. And then Chase is... What'd Connor go?
Don't know yet.
Chat is Knicks. And Connor is...
Bulls.
Bulls. Good timing. It's another split vote. Awesome. You love to see it. Next game, Utah Jazz hosting the 3-30 Detroit Pistons. The Jazz, 15-19. They're 9-point home favorites.
Wow, Jazz 9-point favorites. Did you think you would see that this season? The Pistons are without Isaiah Stewart and Monte Morris. The Jazz have everyone playing. But are still starting Chris Dunn and Colin Sexton for some reason with Simone Fontecchio. Fontecchio. Nine points. I'm just going to stick with my theme and take the points. I know how it's pronounced, Aeromancer. Jeez, man. I like to call him Fontecchio. Fontecchio.
Pistons for crushables. Chase is Pistons.
Jazz for Zachary.
I'm going Jazz.
Aeromancer apparently doesn't listen to our show ever. Because I've been calling him Fontecchio for a long time. And I've said multiple times that I know it's Fontecchio, but I like saying Fontecchio.
You know what's funny is I never remember that. I don't even remember that, so I guess I don't listen to our
Jeez,
show
man.
either. Jasper, Connor, and Trevin.
Some people.
So we need Jackson and we need Arrow. Arrow is Jazz. Jackson is Pistons. All right, and Chat is Pistons. Which means this is another split vote. Lots of disagreement today. I love disagreement. Suns hosting the Clippers. Clippers 4-point road favorites.
All right. In this one, we have nobody out for the Clippers. The Phoenix Suns are without Kevin Durant, Nasir Little, and Damian Lee.
Sometimes when I go to make graphics before I know the spread, I'm in my mind, I try and think of what the spread should be in my mind, and I was thinking Clippers is 3-point favorites, but they're 4-point favorites. This is tough. I mean, the Suns can't guard this team, just flat out, they can't guard them, and they don't have KD.
I'm gonna take the Clippers. As is Jackson, Arrowmancer, and Trevin.
Jackson, Arrow, Trevin.
Zach is Suns. Maybe we see an island for.
We got Gabe in chat. Gabe, who would you take if you're not being biased?
Or be biased.
Curious. Or be biased. Think with your head or your heart or any thing you want to think with. Crushables is Clippers. You got Chase with the Clippers. Always love how every picks list is ordered completely differently. 503 is the Suns. And Steven is the Clippers. So what'd Connor go with?
Don't know yet.
Chat is the Clippers. And Connor is doing too much research. Gabe says Suns have to play great and Clippers have to have an off game, most likely for Phoenix to win. So you'd take the Clippers as 4-point favorites. Connor's the Suns. So we got 3 on the Suns. It's Connor, 503, and Zach. All right, second to final game. We got the Los Angeles Lakers hosting the Miami Heat. Lakers 6-point home favorites.
Heat are without Jimmy Butler, Haywood Highsmith, Drew Smith, Caleb Martin doubtful, Josh Richardson questionable. Lakers are without D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, with LeBron being questionable. Anthony Davis and Cam Reddish are probable. A lot of injuries in this one. You might not be talking, but you're muted.
Oh, I said, is Jimmy Butler ever going to play again? He's been out for a while.
Lakers are my pick and Zach's pick. Heat for Jackson and Trevin.
Steven went Lakers, 503 is going Lakers, and Crush is going Lakers. Chase is going Lakers. Chat is going Heat, 71% of the vote. Arrow is Lakers and Connor's Heat. All right. Is Connor just waiting to see like what people pick to make his picks? That's kind of my leading theory right now. Final game. You got the Kings hosting the Magic. Teams with two basically identical records. The Kings are 4.5-point home favorites.
All right, in this one, the Magic are without Markelle Fultz, Jonathan Isaac, and Joe Ingles. The Kings have no one out. Zach, just to confirm, you want to change your vote last game?
He wants to change his pick?
I believe he's changing his pick.
Okay.
Just confirm, Zach.
5v7. Alright. I'm gonna go with the Kings. We got Magic for Crushables. Whoops, that's the wrong logo.
You said yeah, he does want to.
Yeah, I already changed it.
All right.
Make sure everyone knows. Steven is Magic. 503 is Kings.
I'm going to take the Magic. Kings for Jackson and Trevin. I'll let Zach pick his since he's here.
Kings for Chase. So we need chat. I'll give you about 50 more seconds to make your pick on this game in the chat poll. We got Kings for Zach. We got a question in chat that you guys can answer because I'm not gonna speculate as to what Shaden Sharp does or does not love. Magic up to 57% of the vote for chat. We got Kings for Connor and Magic for chat. And we need Arrow's pick. Instead of making a... Oh, he already picked Orlando Magic. Okay. Sorry. Didn't see it, Arrow. Trying to do a lot. Alright. Time for double downs. I'm doubling down on the Thunder. You're muted.
That's obviously one of Chat's picks as well. And then their other double down is the Clippers.
Okay.
Arrowmancer's Thunder. Trevin is Thunder. And you need a second one, Trevin. Zach is Blazers. Connor is Blazers.
These dudes making mistakes, man.
That's why Elizabeth Allen says the Thunder were stuck at the airport until 4 this morning waiting to leave.
Oh, is that part of why it's a pick'em? It's like I have back-to-back and fluid.
They're still playing everyone, though. Jackson's also going Blazers.
What a... Whoa.
Thunder and Blazers for everyone, I guess.
Yeah. I'm put Chat and Trevin, since they both went Thunder, I'm just going to put the logo of the second team they pick. Steven's double down is the Grizzlies.
Trevin is Clippers, so he has the same two double downs as Chat.
Trevin's just copying Chat, man. So Crushables is doubling down on the Thunder. .503 is doubling down on the Bucks.
Dame time.
Yes, sir. And then you got, let's see, Chase double down on the Mavs. And then I need yours.
Jackson, you can't call easy money for someone else.
What's your double down?
My island, the Brooklyn Nets, was going to be the Wizards, but got to go with the island.
All right. Eric's doubling down on his island. Chat and Trevin are making 2 double down picks, both for the Thunder and the Clippers. So we got 5 people in total going with the Thunder, including Chat, Trevin, Arrow, Crush, and myself. We got 3 people going Blazers. That's Zach, Jackson, Connor, 503 on the Bucks. Chase on the Mavs, Steven on the Grizzlies. That is picks against the spread. All right. So I'm not going to bother previewing this game unless you want to talk about the starting lineup a little bit, but they're starting Baji.
Let's go, my guy.
Yeah. Interesting starting lineup. I mean, Baji's better than Moses Brown. I did not understand the Moses Brown minimum signing. He ended up being, Eric, the 5th best center on our roster. Because you got Ayton, you got Robert Williams 3rd. I know he's out, but just going into the season.
Yeah.
Ayton, Robert Williams, Duop Reith, Ibu Baji, all better than Moses Brown. We signed Moses Brown to a normal roster contract.
Well, technically, Baji wasn't on the roster at the time. But...
You know how nice it would have been to have actually had any of these backup centers last year?
Oh, yeah.
They
wouldn't have played
Reith or Baji, if we played him. I don't know if Baji was ready to play last year. I assume he's better now than he was last year, but it's just kind of funny how many quality centers it looks like we have.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes it easier to go with Robert Williams into next season, knowing you got maybe a Baji as your 3rd string. That I don't know. I've been impressed with Baji. He's not doing anything flashy, but he's just been solid defensively. He's not going to try and do too much. He'll dunk the ball. He's long. He's athletic. That's if you have a 3rd string center, normally you just want somebody that can protect the rim a little bit and somebody that's not going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you have that, he can be serviceable. He's not going to screw you over, and he can maybe contribute to the defense. So that's the kind of archetype I like in a 3rd string center. It's not a guy that, is so good offensively, he's going to be upset if he's not playing. There's certainly better 3rd string centers you could find, but the best 3rd stringers probably want to play. Whereas a guy like Ibu Baji, I think, for the future, I think he's a good 3rd string center to have that can play some backup minutes if needed, but isn't going to feel any type of way about not getting 20 minutes a game. So his energy has been fun to watch. He's been enjoyable to watch, and it's interesting to see Scoot, Ant, Tamani, Grant, and Baji starting lineup against the Mavericks. Will Baji be able to protect the rim from Kyrie and Luka? Or is he going to have 4 fouls in 2 minutes?
Probably going to get foul trouble again, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Another thing I'm looking for is we know that screen setting has been an issue for the Blazers much of this season. Reith has done an okay job, especially considering he's a pick-and-pop threat, so that helps a little bit. Not necessarily that his screens are great, but just the threat of being able to shoot does space the floor a little bit. But I'm excited to see Anthony back, albeit in limited minutes if he's on a minutes restriction. But I'm excited to see what he can do coming off those Ibubaji screens, because those have been something that's been very noticeable in games, how much more space everyone gets off of Baji screens versus everyone else on the roster right now.
Yep, 100%. That's all I have to preview this game. I wanted to talk about a couple trade destinations. We haven't really talked much in trades, and it's obviously a good YouTube title. So Malcolm Brogdon, I think, is the clear-cut guy to get traded. Is there any destinations that stand out to you right now for him?
Well, I do have a Bleacher Report trade. I think this is from yesterday, but there was an article written by a Rockets guy that agreed that going after Brogdon would be good, and that giving up He said one of Jayshawn Tate or Cam Whitmore would be acceptable. I don't know how those players are in the same level value-wise.
Yeah.
But
Like, I would much rather I would do Brogdon for Cam Whitmore maybe straight up right now. Just gamble on the upside, but...
yeah. Yeah, you probably have to take on Oladipo and another small contract. But yeah. I mean, if they want to give us Cam Whitmore for Brogdon, yeah, I think you got to take that. You just keep betting on upside of guys. That was a guy who in pretty much everyone's draft boards and stuff was, at least a fringe top 10 pick, if not higher. And so you take a gamble on that. And he's done nothing to hurt his value since being drafted. He's actually made people wonder why the heck this guy fell to 20. So if you can get someone like that for a veteran, I think those are the kind of moves that I'd be happy the Blazers made. I mean, obviously I want picks too, but I think getting a good young player is fine. I would also prefer to have, if we got a player like Cam Whitmore, I'd prefer it to be at a more of a forward or center position. But I think it's fine. He can play some small forward. Just a little weird fit wise with the guard still, but a little easier than with Brogdon, I think.
Yeah, and he can play some three. Like, you probably want to move on from Thibault then if you're bringing in Cam Whitmore. You want to try and cash in on Thibault's value. He has no trade clause though, correct? So that might be a little tough.
Thibault?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but if he wants to play for a winning team, then there's multiple destinations for him. So something like this is intriguing. I saw a lot of people mention the Knicks as well.
Yeah, the Knicks have been blowing up in terms of Brogdon because they obviously traded Barrett and Manuel quickly, so their guard depth is a little worse than it used to be. But they still have that Evan Fournier, which his second year is non-guaranteed, so it's basically an expiring. And they have all their picks still because they only gave up a second-round pick in the OG trade, so they could give a contract like Evan Fournier and another small contract and match pretty easily Brogdon's salary, and then also give multiple picks or a good pick.
So something like wait. We can make Connor's Arcidiacono jersey relevant again.
Yes, that's great.
Something like this, like that Milwaukee pick looks like a late first. The Knicks pick is probably more towards the middle of the draft, but you're just kind of stocking up on draft capital here.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Would you rather do something like this or like the Mavs pick this year or whatever, as the second first, but two like protected firsts?
I would rather have
the Knicks either 25 or 26 unprotected.
What are you asking? I'm confused.
Would you rather have two like lotto protected firsts or like slightly protected first, or would you rather have one unprotected?
I mean, it depends on depends on the unprotected pick.
Depends if it's on, like, the Knicks next year, let's just say.
I don't really have much interest in that because I think they're going to be good.
But it is a slight, just no matter how small, another slight chance at flag versus a couple of later picks guaranteed if they're protected.
I mean, I don't think they'd give up an unprotected pick.
Yeah, I'm just basic philosophical question for a good team. You just like kind of take a chance that maybe something happens and Brunson gets hurt or something and they're not good next year, or Randall regresses like he does sometimes.
It'd be interesting getting the Bucks, the Bucks pick. We'd own a couple.
Yeah, still top 4 protected, but obviously that probably could
doesn't really. And there isn't any creative stuff you can do with Milwaukee, but yeah. So that's another destination. The Knicks and the Rockets sound like the two favorites. Is there any others that you would put in that group, in that tier, in terms of teams that could be destinations for them?
I would definitely put the Heat, except for I have a hard time believing the Heat and the Blazers are going to do that. But Brogdon would be a tremendous fit on the Heat right now. I think he's almost exactly what they need to take that next step. And then lots of people in chat are mentioning Philly, which is obviously one of the top destinations as well.
Yeah, so I want to talk about Miami real quick, though, and then we'll move on to Philly, because I got the trade machine up. Salary-wise, Duncan Robinson's been good this year. I don't know... they'd probably want to trade Lowry, correct?
Yeah, so it could be like Brogdon and Thibault.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe get a little extra value. I mean, if you could get one unprotected Miami first down the line, for Brogdon and Thibault with an expiring contract, is that worth it?
I'd do it.
Maybe it's Portland gets an unprotected Miami pick in 2028 or 2029, and they can choose
right.
The Pelicans Lakers deal. But if you can get an unprotected pick for 2 role players in 2029, the Heat might still be good. So it might be it's a gamble. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the philosophical question you brought up. It's higher risk, but it's higher reward.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the Heat for some reason suck by then it's 4 or 5, not even 4. It's 5 to 6 years in the future, right? 5.5 years from now. Who knows? Who knows where that pick could be? So you take the gamble on that pick potentially being very, very good in a year where you also have a bunch of other unprotected first round picks with your own, with Boston, with Milwaukee. So you'd have 4 picks that year, all have no protections on them.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of trying to get another 2029 unprotected first, because you're basically just going all in on that draft. And I would bet that at least one of those 3 picks would be top 10.
And that's the other thing, too. If the more picks you have, the more it's impossible. I mean, I guess not impossible, but it's unlikely that every team, if you get 4 or 5 unprotected first in a draft, that would be the 26th through the 30th picks. So, even if 1 or 2 of those teams are really good, that probably means they're beating the other team and they're not as high of a seed. And I doubt those teams would all be high seeds for that long into the future still. It's very rare that multiple teams windows last that long. So, that'd be pretty cool. I'd be down with that, I think.
Yeah, 100%. And then you just try and trade Grant for another team's unprotected 2029 first.
Lakers.
Yeah, Lakers. Dude, it's an interesting strategy, Mm-hmm. It's kind of OKC-esque in terms of you're stocking up on picks, but to stock up on unprotected picks in 1 year is kind of fascinating to me.
Especially since we always get told no one trades unprotected picks anymore.
Yeah.
People value them too much to give them up. But
so if they're willing to do a trade with Miami, which I don't think they are, but if they were, that unprotected 2029 Miami first is interesting to me.
I can't, no, it wouldn't happen, but it'd be funny hearing all the people complain. Miami's picks don't matter. They're always good.
Oh, I know. Yeah. And then we get the number 1 pick in 2029 because they suck by then.
Pat Riley will be 83 by then or something.
Let's explore Philly real quick. I do think he's a good fit there next to Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey remains the lead guard. Brogdon can play off him and take some of the playmaking load off him because Tyrese Maxey is a combo guard, even though his passing has improved and he's looked at as more of a point guard. I think the I would love to get Batum back to mentor Rupert a little bit. What salary matcher do you think would make the most sense here, though?
I mean, obviously, I think Marcus Morris and then a small contract, but you could do Batum, House, and Korkmaz. I think is right around the right amount. So, yeah, Batum has been a key part since the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has he been more key than Morris, though?
I think so. I mean, Morris surprised me how much he was playing, but they have a bunch of expirings now from the Harden trade, so I would pretty much take any of those players.
Where's Korkmaz? Korkmaz up here. Yeah, Korkmaz and Morris fit pretty nicely. It's basically identical to Brogdon, and then you're just looking at picks.
Yeah.
Philly has the right to swap its 2029 first-round pick for the Clippers' 2029 first-round pick, protected for selections 1 to 3. See, like, I would try... You ain't getting an unprotected Philly first, in my opinion. But you got picks in 2029. They have a right to swap. You could probably do something interesting, like Portland has the right to swap picks with Philly. Maybe it's protected 1 to 3. They have the right to swap any of their 2029 first-round picks for the better of the Clippers and Sixers 2029 first-round picks, because Philadelphia gets the better.
Yeah.
And then you're just really maximizing your draft pick capital in that year.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting little thing, and I think it would have some interest for Philadelphia, depending on if there's protections on that swap or not. But I don't know if I would do it just for that. Depends on the protections. If it was like you could swap it for Philly and it was like unprotected swap, where Philly was the worst team in the league, then you get it. But the Clippers part of this is what makes this intriguing, because I still think the Sixers are going to be good down the line. Like, they got Maxey, they got Embiid. Like, Embiid should still be a pretty dominant force 5 years from now, in my opinion, although the injuries could stack up. But the Clippers 5 years from now could be really bad. So that pick could be really good.
They also have if they wanted a little more value, they have a 2026 least favorable of like 3 different teams. So you could maybe get them to throw that one in.
Yeah, pretty easy to throw on the top of a trade. So
if we don't get 2 firsts, can we at least get our second back in 2029 that we gave them last year? I want our picks back just for housekeeping reasons.
Well, yeah, I will say this pick better not be like in the 30s.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying because it's going to be good or anything. It didn't make sense. That was the reason why I wanted our Bucks pick back. That they had our second pick, and it would be really nice to have that ability to maybe maneuver around the draft with some early seconds right now. But I do just kind of want to not have many of our future picks as part of other trades. Just have as much of them as possible for assets.
Agreed. Anyway, that's, I think, every notable destination. Sorry, chat's catching up and it's like going super fast now.
Yeah, Lakers and Clippers, I guess we didn't talk a lot about, but Clippers.
Yeah, we can talk about those destinations in future videos. Yeah. I don't think either of those destinations are as likely as the 4 we listed, which was the New York Knicks, Philadelphia 76ers, Miami Heat, which Miami Heat probably don't belong in the conversation for personal reasons between the front office. So the 3 notable destinations out of this: Philadelphia, New York, and Houston.
Mm-hmm.
And Houston has the most intriguing young players. The other 2 teams have multiple picks.
And the thing about Houston, too, is they're hovering around 500. You got to take advantage of teams in these situations. Teams like the Pelicans a couple of years ago that are just having their short-term blinders on for this season. They see, oh, we can make the playoffs this season. And so if they want to trade for vets and give up assets and kind of ruin their long-term future for some meaningless short-term success, those are the teams you have to take advantage of. And that's what the Thunder did so well in some of their trades outside of the big Paul George trade. So if Houston ends up trading a guy like Cam Whitmore or picks for a vet, and it's not with the Blazers, I'm going to be kind of pissed.
Yep. We'll see. I definitely like gambling on upside with somebody that can play the 3. Like a 2-3 upside gamble is better than like a combo guard.
Mm-hmm.
Because Cam Whitmore I could see playing next to Simons and Scoot or Simons and Sharp. The thing is I think one of Sharp, Whitmore, and Scoot like won't pan out to the point where you have to start them.
Right.
Like I think one of those guys you'll be able to have as a 6-man. Even it might be the best 6-man in the league, but I think one of those guys is not going to be like a. I doubt all 3 of those guys are going to be stars that you all have to start, or else there's going to be problems. And if they are, then you just flip Whitmore for more than Malcolm Brogdon. Like, if Whitmore develops to the point where he's looking like a star, but we have to move off him because Sharp is also looking like a star, Scoot is looking like a star, we got Simons here. At that point, you should hopefully be able to get back more for Whitmore than you invested in him if you're trading Brogdon for him. So that's kind of the thought process, is like, this is a good value play. This is a good gamble because Whitmore has a lot of upside as a shot creator, defender, physical body. Like, he has some things he definitely needs to work on. I wasn't necessarily the highest on him in this past year's draft, but I think the upside is undeniable. And if he develops properly, can be a really, really good player. Can be better than Brogdon is now for a team where our window lines up with his. So that's the calculation. People will say he hasn't done anything. Brogdon's a good NBA player. Without Brogdon, we'd have 5 wins instead of 9 or something. But like, they're thinking about it completely wrong. If that's the argument.
The other thing is too. I mean, I know he was up with Houston recently, last game, whatever, but he's been playing in the G League a lot too, so he'd just be happy to be up on an NBA roster and playing some. I don't think he'd care about starting, just playing in actual NBA games.
Absolutely. Anyway, game tips off in about 40 minutes. We'll have you covered with the post-game show later tonight. And that's a wrap for this episode of Blazers Uprise Live. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. We'll have more trade talk and future post-game shows, so make sure to catch those because it's about that time of year. Anyway, anything else?
What, 5 weeks from tomorrow or something, I think?
About 5 weeks. Yeah, it's February 8th, so looking forward to it. Anyway, we'll catch you guys later. Hopefully we'll see you later tonight. If not, we'll catch you whenever you tune in next. And until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.